If you're moving to Guelph from Toronto, there's a very strong chance that the first place you're going to look is the South End. And that's not random. It's the closest to the 401, it's newer, and it feels familiar. So if you're coming from Mississauga, Milton, Vaughan, or Markham, it doesn't feel like culture shock. It feels comfortable. But here's what most people don't realize. The South End isn't just one neighborhood. And depending on which side of Gordon Street you land on, experience can feel quite different. Before we get into that, if we haven't met yet, I'm Andrew Somerville. I'm a local realtor right here in Guelph, and I help people just like you relocate here, whether you're coming from Toronto, the GTA, or somewhere else in Ontario. I've been selling homes here for nearly 2 decades. This channel is designed to give you the real details, the kind that actually affect your day-to-day life once you move. And this neighborhood series builds upon earlier relocation videos. So if you haven't watched those yet, I'd recommend starting there and letting them play through. All right, let's start east of Gordon Street. That's primarily called Westminster Woods. A lot of buyers gravitate to this side almost instinctively. They'll say it just feels nicer. And they're not wrong. The layout is thoughtful. You'll notice landscaped roundabouts instead of hard intersections, gardens in the medians, clock towers, curved streets instead of rigid grids. It's almost like a gated community, but without the gate. And then you start noticing the trails. They're woven throughout the neighborhood. You'll find homes backing onto green space. Now, it's not dense forest, but it's trees, grasses, shrubs, walking paths. It softens the density. It gives separation. And that design intention is part of why the area carries a strong appeal and has a higher resale value. And here's a detail that a lot of out-of-town realtors often miss. These homes have a small common elements condo fee. Currently, it's around $15 a month. That fee maintains the landscaping, the clock towers, the roundabouts, the green corridors, and shared paths. It's not a big number, but it's one of those small details that explains why the neighborhood feels the way it does. And those details matter when you're relocating. Now, let's cross Gordon. West of Gordon is called the Clairfields. Clairfields feel slightly more practical. Homes overall tend to be a little bit smaller on average. You won't see as many ornamental focal points like you do in parts of Westminster Woods. But that doesn't mean it lacks value. Clairfields has its own strengths. There is also a trail system woven throughout, and it does have direct access to what's called Preservation Park, which is a large conservation area loaded with trails. You'll see deer there and lots of different animals. Fun fact is, when Dita and I first moved here over 25 years ago, we went for a hike in Preservation Park, and we got lost. In fact, we started from the Hanlon side and ended up all the way over to Gordon and had no idea how to get back. And that was before GPS, so it took a little while. Preservation Park is quiet. It's expansive, and for people who value outdoor space, that's a serious lifestyle bonus. In both Clairfields and Westminster Woods, you're very close to all the amenities: groceries, restaurants, coffee, fitness, all within walking distance in many of the pockets. And in both Clairfields and Westminster Woods, there are even streets that have multi-million-dollar homes tucked into the mix. So while the average home size may tend to be smaller on the Clairfield side, there's still lots of range. So let's talk schools, because this matters for families. The South End already has one high school, and it's a Catholic high school called Bishop Mac for locals. It serves grade 9 all the way through grade 12, but there isn't currently a public high school. But that's about to change. At the corner of Victoria Road South and Arco Road, a new public high school is under construction, and it's slated to be open for the 2026-2027 school year. That's significant, because as infrastructure catches up to growth, it strengthens the long-term stability of an area. And then we go even further south. This is where things get interesting. A major expansion happening in the South End is officially called the Clair-Maltby Secondary Plan. These aren't just random subdivisions popping up. It's a city-approved growth framework. In fact, it's the largest urban expansion in Guelph's history. This means parks, trails, stormwater systems, roads, schools, and housing types are all being planned as an integrated community, not added later as an afterthought. Large builders are entering this area, including Macdonell Homes, which is notable because they haven't built in Guelph before. When a builder of that size enters a city, it signals confidence. This part of the South End is early. Some buyers love being early. Others prefer a fully mature neighborhood. Neither approach is wrong. It just depends on your timeline and comfort level. Let's zoom out for a second. South End is strong, but it's suburban. It doesn't have century homes, it doesn't have historic charm, and it's not the walk to downtown arts vibe. And that's important, because in the next video, we're going somewhere completely different. We're going downtown, we're going to the old university and exhibition park. There's tree canopies, there's character homes, and a very different energy. And later in the series, I'm going to break down which neighborhoods historically outperform over 10 to 15 years in resale value. That one might surprise you. So if you're looking specifically at Westminster Woods or Clairfields, ask yourself what you're optimizing for. Commute, schools, walkability, investment upside, maybe long-term growth. If you're relocating, even if it's a year out, reach out. Because choosing a neighborhood is rarely about picking the nicest house. It's about picking the right pocket of the city. And those small details, even the $15 ones, shape your experience more than people realize.